Okay.
Mhm.
Then the whole family, my mom and my dad, we all sit. That is the actual quality time you spend with each other. So at that time, it is not important who is cooking or who has cooked the meal in the kitchen. The
Mhm.
important thing is seeing your people around. So that is your, like when we say it's me time, so that is the family time. And that is also very important for all of us.
Great, great. Well, I must
Yeah.
say it. I find myself very much struggling for my me time because I wake up around 6 to 6:30. Then, since morning, like it takes almost 12:30 or 1 p.m. for my household chores to get done. Like say cooking all the three meals of the day, doing the laundry, everything, looking after everything. Post 1 p.m., my me time
If
starts.
you
That
are
is my
on your journey of learning English and want to hone your communication skills, download the app Ace Fluency using my referral link and avail 20 minutes free talk time every day. Don't forget to use my coupon code COVEL10 to avail 10% extra discount while purchasing any course.
Good evening,
Hi. A
Ankita.
very good evening, ma'am. A very good evening. How are you doing today?
How- Good, good,
Great, great.
very good. I guess your day today is
Mhm.
going to be very hectic, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
You are having so many sessions today, one after the other.
That happens to me almost every other day. So yeah.
That is a good thing.
Yes,
So
yes.
that way, it means you are a loved one kind of tutor on this platform.
I might say so. And that's with my beloved, learners. Yeah, thank you so much. But however, no, I feel like I'm currently feeling in very high spirits to see such a, smiling, such an elated face in front of me. How? Because I really believe, ma'am, that there is a pretty good amount of exchange of energies between you and whoever you are sitting in front of. So yeah, this is what I believe. So when you see someone so much cheerful, however, no, seeing a dull face would just reduce your energy to interact. So I believe that, and I so much believe in association sort of thing. So I try to surround myself with people who are no always in high spirits, because that I think somewhere it affects my performance. Because if I see someone, let's say someone who is sitting next to you and performing, no, just like we can say more than expected, someone is performing, so
Yeah.
you also feel, so you also try to cope up with that performance and you automatically perform well than how much you can.
Yes.
And if someone you see in low spirits has underperformed, then you get no, I get somewhere overrate you underrate yourself. So that's how it happens.
That's true. That's why it is always said. One thing is, I think that's why we use the term aura. This is a kind of aura. And
Definitely.
when you get that comes back to you, of course,
Mhm.
that either motivates you, energizes you, or demotivates you as well. That's why it is said, it is always suggested, it is always advised that you try to be in the company of the people who always energize you, who motivate
Mhm.
you, who always have positive spirits. So that way it's very
Yes.
important for both the sides. Yeah, I do.
Definitely.
Yes,
When I sit
yes,
with my learners also, I ask them that let's start with a smile so that we can synergize each other, right? So that we can take it
yes,
in a positive note. However, we all
yes.
understand that, see, ma'am, most of my learners, are working professionals whom I interact with. Okay. So I do not take a lot of them, but yes, 3, 4 sessions I do take. And apart from all these YouTube sessions, so all of them are working professionals and they prefer taking sessions late at night. Like let's say after
Hmm.
9. Okay. So there's a huge, rush for learners. There's a huge demand for learners after 9 p.m. So I try not
Hmm.
to take after 9 because I wind up my work after 9. I also have a family, so I have to serve them. It doesn't matter you cook, but no, when there comes a time you have to serve them. So yeah, like any family expects the such. That's how I try not to take.
It's not a cooking for them or serving them. Important thing
Mhm.
is your time. They expect your time. Everybody wants your time at that for that particular period. You don't do anything. You just be around them. That is the important thing. That the purpose is solved. So this at that time, like in my case, if I say I'm sitting before you at the moment and somebody is cooking for me, and
Mhm.
we take dinner after 9. My husband is a doctor, and he
Mhm.
used to turn up after 9. Okay,
Mhm.
then the whole family, my mom and my dad, we all sit. That is the actual quality time you spend with each other. So at that time, it is not important who is cooking or who has cooked the meal in the kitchen. The
Mhm.
important thing is seeing your people around. So that is your, like when we say it's me time, so that is the family time. And that is also very important for all of us.
Great, great. Well, I must
Yeah.
say it. I find myself very much struggling for my me time because I wake up around 6 to 6:30. Then, since morning, like it takes almost 12:30 or 1 p.m. for my household chores to get done. Like say cooking all the three meals of the day, doing the laundry, everything, looking after everything. Post 1 p.m., my me time starts. That is my work. So I believe that this is worship. Here I get to meet a lot of people. I get love to interact. And a very special thanks to my mentor, like who keeps me like her own child. So she nurtures me a lot. So I do believe in leadership now. Okay, and she also pushes me that Ankita, you could be a leader. Just focus on something. So the way people treat you, it matters to you a lot. And I think having such a great leader, such no a teacher, such a guide who could guide you throughout the life, that matters a lot. However, I stretch my work somewhere up to 10 because there is a lot of demand for the learners. So I somehow manage in between. I say, you people continue, I can have my dinner later on. So yeah, they somehow want my time. They ask for my time. But yeah, I think Sundays are the only days where I can provide them my me time. That's how.
Ankita, I believe that if me time doesn't mean when you are alone. If you are in the company of somebody who
Hmm.
gives you energy and you're doing something which makes you feel happy
Hmm.
and which contributes in your growth, that is also me time. Like that time is contributing in my growth and I'm enjoying that very moment. So anything you do which you cherish, which you enjoy, that
Hmm.
is me time, right?
I think my
So
work
like in
does.
your case, yeah, if you love your work or you
Hmm.
do the work you love,
Exactly.
right? So that is also, you can say you are the blessed one if you find yourself in that space. That is
Yes,
also,
yes, exactly.
you can say, the blessing of the God, because the number of time we people we do. Ankita,
Hmm.
I want to check my connection just for a minute. I want to
No
check my
problem, no
network
problem.
connection.
Hello,
Yeah,
ma'am.
are you
Can
there?
you?
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
I'm here.
actually, whenever I change my place, I have to change my network connection, like on the ground floor or on the upper
Hmm.
floor. So
Uh,
I forgot to do that. So I was feeling that at certain places it was getting, your
no, no,
pick
no
was
problem, no
getting
problem.
closer.
It
Yeah,
was
it's
all
okay
right.
now. So I was just discussing that, we all people who are working,
Hmm.
number of times we do some work we actually don't enjoy, but we are left with no other choice. We have to do for the sake of so many things. We have the
Hmm.
responsibilities. We are out for earning. But if if you get to do the work which you enjoy, which is
Hmm.
making you grow, and at the same time you are coming back with the money, like you are earning also. So that way, if you are one of them, then I feel you are blessed one.
I know. However, this earning was not at all my cup of tea since 1.5 years back. However, I decided that for myself, that I work for myself, I work for no one else. To be very frank, like, yeah, no, like being a senior, I'm saying this to you that it doesn't matter whether your family is opulent, is well built, very much affluent or not. It doesn't matter whether your husband is affluent or not. Maybe there are, and yes, he is obviously. Okay. Ma'am, would you just allow me a minute? There's someone at the door. I need to unlock it.
Sure, sure,
Thank
sure,
you. Thank
sure.
you. Yeah. So I was saying that, okay, I do all this for myself. Now, after all this, I want some me time for me so that I can read, I can go through some of my favorite books because I used to read a lot. So now that I do not get, so while scrolling through phones, I have to go through some ebooks, like whatever PDFs I have in my phone. because I do not find, I know when I hit bed, I feel so much lethargic that my, eyes blink that, okay, I cannot wake any, like, I cannot stay awake anymore. So, willingly or unwillingly, you cannot have your so much of me time that I want. So, if given me a chance, I would like my, my day to be a 26-hour day, not 24 hours. I would like it to stretch a bit, because yeah, I find myself no short of time for me.
I do also find the same thing. Like I feel that there is
Mhm.
so much yet to be done, and the time is less. So
Mhm.
you sometimes you like your day passes in such a way that you don't find a moment to realize that
Yeah,
when did
yeah,
you
yeah.
get up in the morning. Now it is already 11 or 12 p.m.
Mhm.
So yeah, I also find a number of times that day should be bigger than 24 hours.
Exactly. But again, when I think of myself, I think, okay, I'm doing nothing. But the leaders we have had in our history, they had only 24 hours in a day, like the very similar day, and they had gifted us such great revolutions that we are coming that our history has come across. So
Mhm.
by having a retrospect, I can see on that, I get motivated that no, whatever needs to be done in this 24 hours only, I have to evolve, I have to grow, I have to do everything that I have on my plate within this 24 hour only. And being a woman, I think a lot of things we need to look after us also, how we look, how we appear in front of others, because that it matters. And I believe that in the hoard of all these daily chores, we somehow forget to do this, or we intentionally do not no value ourselves, that okay, how we look. Because let's say when you're cooking, you do not give yourself too much value of how you are looking at that time,
Yeah,
right? So
you're
it
right.
doesn't matter. Yes. So but at least I have seen such women, ma'am, who are very particular about their looks, about like whatever they are doing, but they prefer their physical appearance. So this is one of the most important thing, because I have noticed that when you look good, you feel good.
That's true.
When you look good, you feel good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But at the same time, we do the same thing, like we ignore ourselves. Like
Exactly.
just for this session, I rushed so badly. I was left with just 5 or 10 minutes. I was just looking at the clock, hardly 7 minutes, 6 minutes left, and I was just winding up everything. But at the same time, I do believe that we should be, if somebody's crazy, like some women, they're so focused about their attire, even like you go after their nail paints or their lipstick shades and everything, their hairdo, everything. Yeah, I love that. And I really, uh, you can say, I
Admire that. Appreciate that.
I admire them. But at the same time, when it comes my case, I always find that I don't know why it's so that we always keep our family and their responsibilities as priority. And it's not kind of unfortunately, but per chance we are not left with enough time for ourselves. We do believe that we should be focused on ourselves. We should have time to look after physical appearance. I do agree with you that the way you look, the similar way you feel, and it's very. You can say it applies to everyone. The way we wear, like you are wearing some good dress, the dress which you like the most, and you see yourself in the mirror and you admire yourself and you feel, yeah, I'm feeling more energetic today. I'm looking
Exactly.
good, and then you love to be in the company of the friends and the fellow. Yeah, because from the inner core you realize, you have the realization, I'm looking good. So that gives you
A
good
sense of
feeling.
confidence comes
Yeah,
over.
yeah,
A
that
sense
boosts
of
your
confidence.
confidence.
Yes,
But at the
yes.
same time, I don't know, it's not hypocrisy, it's not that, but at the same time, we keep our desires and everything at the back front when it comes to ourselves. So we agree, and we agree with it, but we don't give ourselves that much of importance. I don't know what term would fit here over here. I'm not familiar with the kind of term, but there should be some term for
Mhm.
this kind of situation also, where you want to do, you have the realization, you know it is important, but in spite of all this, why don't you, or why don't we can't do
Mhm.
that for ourselves? You are getting my point, I think, what
Yes,
I
yes,
mean to
yes.
say.
And I have concluded this term for me. And so I have this nomenclature. I have named it as the unsaid workload and the unsaid responsibilities you are holding at your back. Exactly. Because if you go to someone, like now that if you are serving your family members, let's say some people are really, really blessed with having such a good family. But on the same hand, everyone is not, because not everyone understands you at the same level. I'm happy at this, but I cannot expect someone else to be happy in my happy place. They
Hmm.
might
Yeah.
disagree with us. Okay. After all, you are serving, you are helping others, but at one point of the day, they will say, what do you even do for us? You do
That's
this everything. No, no, I'm just telling you. No one asks you, or this is your responsibility, because not every responsibility is the said responsibility, because we women, I prefer, we carry some unsaid responsibilities also. So there is some term called unsaid rules, and we women carry some unsaid responsibilities, because when our families change, no one asks us that okay, you have to serve them, because it ultimately becomes a responsibility. But no one asks the society that okay, it's your responsibility to take care of how we think of our mental peace, of our aura, of our environment. So it is, I believe it is some unsaid responsibilities and rules, because we can focus on either one thing. If we are not doing something, what very much we like, let's say cooking. I do not like cooking at all. But again, I have to cook for 3 times, like altogether, and that makes me more pissed off. So I cannot work on my appearance and cooking altogether. But when I sit here, I know I'm going to be in front of my people, the people who love me, the people I love to interact with. I can work on a bit. However, I do not work like too much. I just comb my hair, brush my hair, and I just change my t-shirt, or let's say kurta, what I'm wearing, and that's it. I sit. I don't put any, like, if sort of a lip balm would work or not. That's though enough.
hmm.
And again, when doing physical appearance is good, but again, on the other hand, I believe, the karma you do is more, it has its own fragrance that you share. Like the kind of aura we are sharing, the kind of energy we are sharing, it has a different fragrance. No one can put on, and no one can purchase like this. So yeah, like,
That's true.
yeah, that your deeds, what you do, your work is worship. So yeah, when I'm worshiping my work, there's a different fragrance that, like, it is very defined, very pronounced. It is very flamboyant type of thing. It is. Yeah, that's how. Okay, had a lot of things, no.
We women do multiple jobs, even having the realization what do we actually do,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it?
Definitely.
Like, though family members or the society takes every woman for granted, so far as
Mm-hmm.
her responsibility towards every member of the family is concerned. But at the same time, majority number of times we are not asked about to do this thing or that thing. We do it because we love them. We love our family members. I'm a biologist, and in biology, the term we use for this kind of situation is when somebody is doing a sort of sacrifices
Mm-hmm.
for the other members of the family. That is
Mm-hmm.
altruism. I don't know whether this altruism is having the same meaning in the English dictionary. I haven't checked it ever.
Altruist, yeah.
Yeah,
And the person who is doing is altruist. Yes.
yeah, yeah, altruism. Yeah, you do
Altruist,
it
yeah.
because you love them. So we
Mm-hmm.
do a number of things, though we are so much tired. And at the same time, like at one moment, we are doing multiple things. So many of the things with the hands, and so much of the stuff we are doing with the mind at the same time. Right?
Exactly.
Isn't it? So yeah,
And no
but we
one is able to keep pace with their mind and their hands working at a time, because the pace with which we work from hands is not similar to what our
yeah,
mind runs with the same pace. It's
yes.
never the same, I believe.
And I have noticed it number of times whenever I'm talking to my kids, and number of times my daughter especially, she would say, "Mom, you zoomed out, because
Mhm.
physically I was there, I was
Mhm.
nodding my head, but something else was scrolling through my mind. I was
Mhm.
focused somewhere else. So mind flies faster, works
Yeah, definitely.
faster than the
Exactly.
other mechanical kind of things.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so it's like when you do something manually, it takes time, but it takes nothing to, think of, nothing to delude, I can say. So the delusions, they work faster than being manual. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah,
Right.
manually. I should
Yeah,
be
yeah.
manual. Yeah.
Something which is manually. Yeah. And like I have been through your channel, like I've been there. Yeah. So I go through the channels of people I interact with. So
Okay.
just to see that, okay, what content they are more focused on, like what can I learn from them. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And the one thing I love, like I learned from you, like as we are discussing about the responsibilities of being a woman. So, and when I see you, I see that as you are far more senior to me, madam, and now handling a lot of things like handling family, handling things. I'm in my late 20s and still complaining about things which you might be feeling, अरे ये क्या discuss कर रही है? ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है. There is yet to come things, right? But again, I salute that the stigma you're having, the stamina you sit for the sessions, handling kids, handling family, handling husband, everything, like your household chores, everything. So yeah, that inspires me a lot again. So yes, a big thank you to you for energizing me, for keeping me again in very high spirits, so that I sit with the same energy, with the same synergy for my next session.
Thank you, dear. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
Whenever I talk to somebody, I feel I resonate with, because it doesn't happen in every chit chat kind of sessions.
Mhm.
You find somebody sometimes you feel you are more connected with. So at that time, I used to forget my age gap and everything. I just remember that somebody who resembles to me, because the resemblance is not so far as the physical appearance is
Yes,
concerned.
yes, yes.
We resemble each other from here also, from my with the mindset. So that way, yeah, I always feel very light when I talk to you, and I forget about my age period. I simply go back to my college or university days, the kind of environment I used to have and hang out with my friends. Yeah, now you made me just realize that where
No,
do I?
no, I'm just saying that, see, this is something we actually vibe a lot because
Yeah,
our thoughts resemble. We're like-minded.
yes, yes, yes.
But
Like,
again, see, ma'am, people say age is just a number, but I do believe what I was 5 years back, I'm not the same person now. This is what your age teaches you. And
hmm,
since you are senior, you are superior to me, and it is no inevitable a fact. However, we go along, we get along with each other very nicely. But again, the kind of experience, the amount of experience you would be having, I similarly will not be having. So a few of the things I might have said, you must be thinking that, okay, these things are not to be, kept in such a big loop. Things
hmm,
like this. Yeah. Because you have handled family for more longer time than I am handling. So yeah, in the initial days, people say that, okay, every woman has to go through some of the, we can say shackles. You must also have gone through. So yeah, that's how. So you must be like feeling me, I can say. You can
and
empathize me.
just because you have just said that you have gone through my channel, because I'm raising my channel as a kid. I never say I'm a YouTuber. And of course, I am putting in lots of efforts to make it grow. Because once you take something in your hands, you want to see it flourishing at the same time. But I'm facing, it's not coming up the way I see other people. My question to you is, if you have to describe it in one sentence, what is your take on it? Because I do it from the core of my heart. Whatever I take in my hand, it's not just time pass for me, and I always try to give it some meaning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if you have to describe it in one line, whatever you have observed, whatever that be, how would you define it? Explain it in one line.
Uh, Not even one line. I just have two words in my mind. First of all, it's strikingly timeless efforts you are giving in. we can only observe the amount of efforts you are putting in just to let your channel grow, because you are keeping your work at priority. And it, not everybody understands this, and it's not everybody's cup of tea to do anything from the core of their heart. Sometimes we do a thing called jugaadbazi. Okay, we can do this thing at a very few instances during our work. We cannot let this everywhere. So just three mere words, strikingly timeless efforts you are putting in. And just keep this, because ma'am, the price of efforts this time will pay you off. And this is, I can see, I have seen many people. Just so I'm going through a lot of channels through, like, for which people I'm interacting with, I have seen them. And yeah, just like this and nothing else. And just keep these efforts on. Obviously, it is going to be tycoon one day. So nothing to think on. Just keep it going.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, dear.
And thank you for like giving me the opportunity to describe something of yours. So I do not find myself, such a huge or such a massive icon to define you. But thank you. It's been like, I feel I'm obliged to do that. Thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
you, dear. Actually, it's a human tendency. It is irrespective of whatever be your age. You may take it as a small kid or like you or me. That everybody wants to listen something inspiring from other person's,
Views.
in
Yes,
other
yes.
person's words.
Perspectives. Yes,
So
yes.
yes, and because it motivates you. It at one moment it is motivating you. At the same time, it is elevating you also. You
Yeah,
understand what I
definitely,
mean?
definitely.
So that is very important for all of us. That's why sometimes it is said, जैसे हम अपनी regional language में कहते हैं कि झूठ ही बोल दो, कोई झूठ ही आपकी मदद कर दे. So you feel good.
Exactly. Yes,
So
yes, yes.
everybody wants to have that feel good kind of feeling. So yeah, we all need it.
I just want from what I just learned from your channel, ma'am, ki despite of the age barrier, despite of the age group, whatever things you must be handling, if अगर कोई आपको देखता भी है, आपकी चैनल से रन थ्रू करता है, nothing, अब आप जिस स्पेस से वहां पे आप रिवील करो, पीपल अंदाजा लगा लेंगे कि आपकी एक फैमिली होगी, आप मैरिड होंगे, आपके किड्स होंगे एंड ऑल. अगर इसके बाद भी डिस्पाइट ऑल दीज थिंग्स, इफ समवन इज पुटिंग दिस मच ऑफ एफर्ट, तो एटलीस्ट अगर वो कुछ नहीं भी सिखा रहा है, या अगर वो इतना ज्यादा सक्षम नहीं भी है, उनको एलिवेट करने के लिए, उनको मोटिवेट करने के लिए भी काफी लोग हैं इस दुनिया में. And I've seen people, and these social media platforms are acting in such a way so that they motivate people, as you said, that they lift people up. So yeah, that's a great thing. Like, इतना कम होने के बाद भी अगर आप इतना एफर्ट किसी चीज में डाल रहे हो, that is something great. It means that you admire your work, and there is nothing bigger, there is nothing more massive than this, than admiring your work, taking your, like, worshipping your work like this. So yeah. All right, ma'am, I have a session from 8:30 to catch up, so I would have to bid you adieu. All right, so I would love to catch up with you some other day, some other time. Till then, like, thank you, my heartiest thank you to you. Okay, and yeah, please take care of yourself, and a very good night to you.
Good
Thank
night.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Good night.